The first moment that jolted me wasn't the laughter. It was the way her hand brushed his. A fleeting stroke across the back of his knuckles, soft and deliberate, like a spark searching for tinder. I felt it from across the restaurant table, a sharp electric jolt straight to the gut. She didn't pull away. Neither did he. I forced my smile to stay pinned in place. The dim lighting painted the room in amber and shadow, clinking silverware filling the gaps in our conversation. My wife, Elena, looked radiant under the glow. Hair tucked behind one ear, eyes bright, too bright. And across from her sat the man I'd heard too much about lately. Just a new guy on my team, David. Ambitious, funny. A bit naive. Ambitious apparently wasn't the half of it. He leaned in closer to her, lowering his voice like they shared some intimate secret. She laughed, God, that laugh, light, musical, the one she used to save for me. I felt something twist beneath my ribs. I cleared my throat. So, David, I said, keeping my tone even, how are you finding the new job? He didn't look at me immediately. His eyes lingered on Elena for a beat too long before flicking to mine. It's good. Great, actually. The workload's intense, but I like the challenge. He didn't recognize me. Not yet. I'd asked Elena not to mention my name at work. I want to succeed on my own merit, she'd said. I'd agreed. Maybe I shouldn't have. David turned back to her, his knee brushing hers. I saw it happen, saw the subtle shift of her body welcoming the contact. A sickening heat rushed up my throat. Maybe I'm imagining it, I told myself. Maybe they're just friendly. Maybe, but maybe had teeth and it was sinking them into me. The waiter arrived with wine, breaking the spell. As he poured, I watched David's reflection in the glass, how his eyes drifted toward her lips. How she noticed. How she didn't look away. Tell me more about your boss, I said casually, swirling the wine in my glass. You mentioned he's demanding? David groaned dramatically. You have no idea. The guy's a ghost. Never shows his face, but somehow he knows everything. You make one tiny mistake and boom, he's on you. Total control freak. Elena stiffened. Tiny movement, but I caught it. My pulse thudded in my ears. I held the moment like a blade. Funny, I said softly. I've heard he's actually pretty reasonable. David snorted. Whoever told you that doesn't work with him? Elena's hand jerked on her fork. Her eyes met mine finally and something in them flashed. Fear, guilt, a silent plea. Time slowed, thick and suffocating. I set my glass down. Well, I said, letting the words land with precision, I suppose you'll have to tell me more about it on Monday, since I'm your boss. Silence. The restaurant noise faded to a distant hum. David's face drained of color. You what? Elena whispered. Daniel, please. He looked between us, horror dawning, every flirtatious smirk evaporating. His earlier bravado dissolved into something small and rapidly collapsing. I expected anger to surge, to explode out of me. But instead there was an eerie calm. A cold, devastating clarity. Relax, I said, though my voice was ice. I'm not firing you tonight. That would be unprofessional. I leaned in just slightly. But I am curious, David. How long have you and Elena been sharing private jokes at work? He opened his mouth. Nothing came out. Elena broke instead. It wasn't supposed to be anything, she said, voice trembling. I felt seen. Appreciated. And I didn't know how to tell you I've been lonely. The words sliced cleaner than any lie. I stood, chair scraping the floor, the sound sharp as a gunshot. We'll talk later, I told her. To him I added, enjoy the rest of your evening. I walked out without looking back. But the truth followed me like a shadow. I had lost something long before tonight. This dinner only revealed where it had gone.